Hi there, my name is Deli Singer, and it is my honor to present to you one of Africa's top rising institutions. For starters, the interesting thing about being an influencer is that I get to choose which organizational brand I affiliate with. Having said that, it is an immense privilege for me to introduce you to the world of Information and Communications Technology University, ICTU, Yaoundé, Cameroon campus. ICTU runs a US curriculum with 3 yearly intakes: the spring intake in February, the summer intake in July, and the fall intake in October. ICTU courses are designed to place you on the cutting edge of innovation, technology, and strategic global leadership. Our goal is to extend access into top quality diplomas, bachelor's, master's, certification, consulting, network designs, and a unique PhD program which offers opportunities for international research and collaboration. Our courses include Information and System Networking, Information and Communication Technology, Computer Sciences, Engineering or Renewable Energy, Accounting Information Technology, Accounting, Banking and Finance, Business Management and Sustainable Development, Science of Education, Public Health, Business Administration, Cisco, Microsoft, Health Information Technology. Please join us in our February 2021 intake in our Yaoundé, Cameroon campus, open for both English and French students, including those with baccalaureate. For more details, do contact us on our website www.ictuniversity.edu.cm. Thank you and God bless.
Hey fam. Hi. Hey. Welcome guys. Welcome to the show, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I audible enough? Hi, my delicious. Welcome to this very scintillating episode of Business and Entrepreneurship. Well, with Roland FOMUNDAM, hosted by myself. I'm glad that you all tuned in. Can you share the video? Pump hearts. You know how we do it, guys. Please share the video. Okay. I'm just going to see how many of you are there. Guys, share the video. It's a lot of things we have to talk about today. It's too many things. That's this guru. I call him a guru. He's a mentor. He's a lot. He will be talking to us today in the capacity of the CEO of Greenhouse Ventures. It's a lot of things, a new program that we're starting. Okay, so today is just the first episode. Hopefully, we're going to have loads of interesting episodes, of course, and have him answer your many questions regarding entrepreneurship and business. So yes, guys, before I get him on board, you want to share the video, okay? Share. All those questions that have been burning in your hearts, all of those questions, you want to bring them, and we have the best person, of course, to answer your questions. I see you. Let me see those of you in the comment section. No saying yes, Susie. Hi, Susie. I think you were the first. Thank you for joining. I know you have shared. I know. Shelane, hey, says, I see you. Fonju Yvette, I see you. Hi. Emilia Asobo. Keep sharing the video, guys. Share. Okay? Emilia Asobo, I see you. Queen Boo. Hey, Queen Boo, I see you. G. Constance Ga Eminet. No Senge, of course. I see you. Prince Boris, I see you. No Senge. I keep seeing you because you keep commenting. Living Real. Hey, Teneng Chelsea, Awa. Elizabeth Ngala. Hi, darling. Relin, right. I see you. Keep commenting. But hang on with your questions, guys, until I get him on screen, okay? I see all of you. Share the video, share, share, share. Pump hearts as usual, okay? It's going to be a tsunami today. Um, I'm just gonna take um a brief info about our I don't call him guest. I'm hosting, so he is the he's the boss of today. So let me take a brief intro about him. Okay, for those of you who don't know him, he's a household name actually, but of course there should be some of you who are very clueless as far as he is concerned. So I'll just say some few things about him before I get to bring him on board. Okay, he's backstage. He's smiling. So let me take where are we? Right. Dun, dun, dun. Mm. Oh, there he is. Okay. Hi. So, Mr. Roland FOMUNDAM pioneered the development and deployment of the first solar dehydrators in Cameroon. He also introduced the mechanical water pumps, green charcoal, corn dishers, and on of recent, the low-cost greenhouse technology. Guys, bear with me because as far as Roland is concerned, it is jaw-breaking terms that I have to had to put together. But hey, bear with me because when he comes up, he's definitely going to break these things down for us, okay? But of course, we have to do this. So Roland is the president and chair of the Greenhouse Ventures Groups of Companies, a holding company for GHV Farmers and GHV Technology Company. His company ideas are collectively leading a path towards sustainable development with a focus on agricultural sustainability in rural and urban settings with the use of the culturally adaptable greenhouse technology. Since inception, these revolutionarily low-cost greenhouse farms have been instrumental in enabling other farmers, especially youths, who have become agricultural entrepreneurs to produce market crops year-round, ensuring continuous production despite the adverse climate conditions and giving them prime advantage over the farmers. The company's competitive advantage comes with a closed loop model through which GHV provides a market for all the tech users through a franchise from relationship that was introduced, making it the only Cameroonian company which is with the ability to ensure constant production and profits. Its short-term successes have spurred interest of this model in several other countries in Africa, notably Uganda, Mali, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and Ghana, where the company is currently carrying out studies for implementation planning. Roland FOMUNDAM holds a Master's of Science in Technology, Entrepreneurship, and a dual bachelor's degree in Biology and Business Management from Northeastern University, Boston, USA. At the university, Roland was the premier of commercializing a university-born technology, a milestone that ushered him into other reputable universities like Harvard, USA, MIT, USA, Georgia Tech, USA, Waseda University, Japan, Dutch Technology University, Holland, and several Cameroonian universities. Roland is a serial entrepreneur, a lecturer in multiple universities in Cameroon, where he teaches innovation and entrepreneurship. Without further ado, guys, ladies and gentlemen, join me. Welcome this social entrepreneur, founder and CEO of Greenhouse Ventures, Mr. Roland FOMUNDAM. Welcome to the show. God, what is
Hey,
all of
hey.
this jaw-breaking um, technology, gadgets, big words, small words mixed, and all of what is this? Welcome, Roland. I mean, I'm certain they want to hear from you. Welcome to the show.
Honestly, when you read, I didn't even know you're talking about me.
Right? Come on. You're more than this, my dear. We had to summarize, and you know that. Guys, share the video, guys. Pump him hearts. Okay, pump him hard. He is this big. Okay, he's that small and yet this big. So you can imagine. It's a welcome to the show.
Thank you so
Can
much.
you
Thank you
hear
so
me properly, guys? Can you
much.
hear me properly? I didn't even ask them if they can hear me because I wasn't quite sure. Let me check the comments. Okay, we can hear you. Right. Welcome. So tell us, who is this Mr. Roland? Can you break down all of what we've said? Because I still don't know what I've read. I just read it for people to hear, but I'm not sure what I read. It's too complex for my mind, please. Can you break it down for us, please?
Honestly, I heard you reading. I'm like, where did you pull those paragraphs from? I was like, where is all this news coming from? Jeez, I want to be like that guy. Uh,
More than this guy, man. You're more than this guy. I'm super proud of you, and I'm sure Cameroonians watching you are super proud of you. So
thank you so
tell
much.
us,
Thanks for having me.
right. So tell us, like I said, like I asked initially, who is Roland Formundam?
Man, honestly, this always seems to be the most difficult question I ever
Tell
get
me
at
about
any
it.
interview. Because it's one of those things I don't know where to start. I don't know how to end it. I always like to see myself as I would always write. I would say village boy. Grew up in the village.
Mm-hmm.
I had an opportunity to travel to the US where I furthered my education. But
Right.
I'd always been somebody who never really enjoyed the West. So I think I hurriedly came back against
Okay.
all the odds. And today, we're doing one of several things. I am happy to be part of the academia family where I teach in most universities in the country. But besides that, I am also leading a company called Greenhouse Ventures.
Mm-hmm.
In Greenhouse Ventures, we introduce a technology which is the one and only technology, of course, in the country right now, doing what we do. But I've also been involved in championing entrepreneurship development and youth mentorship. I try to do well to connect with multiple minds and try to see how we can direct minds towards a sustainable way of life or path of life. It's all of that. I am a father. I am a brother. I am a son. I don't know how else to put it, but I am Cameroonian to in short form. I tell you, it's always the most difficult question. Please
I
ask another
know. Tell me
question.
about it. I was waiting for you to bring it out so that I can copy your answer and we'll have to spill it out when it's my turn. Because in all
Okay.
honesty, this has always been my most difficult question, to answer. Right, guys. I see loads of people in the comment. They pumping you hard. They're saying very nice things about you. Somebody is saying Roland is Formundam. Roland Formundam is phenomenal. Somebody is saying an instrument to success. That's my boss, Evangelista Seaway. Jaffney Joyboy, of course, that's a household name as well. It's a lot of your fans, it's a lot of
That's
your
my guy.
mentees, it's a lot of Cameroonians looking up to you, watching you at this very moment, that I'm certain would want to know why you launched into the deep like that. Because this is really not it's not common. I mean, it's not a common thing. We go to school, the Cameroonian dream. We go to school, we get married, we go to maybe ENS or ENAM, and that's it. And that's literally the Cameroonian dream, right? What made you launch into the deep like that? You're a bush faller. You did not just end there. Went back to Cameroon, and you're doing the least expected, the least not the very conventional things that Cameroonian youths find themselves into. Tell us more about this.
Well, first of all, thank you, everyone. Unfortunately, I'm unable to see those comments, but thank you all for commenting. All those who are sharing, do well. All those pumping hearts and likes, thank you all. The few names I've heard, thank you all for being on board. I know my entire family is watching. and I'm happy for all of that. Yes, to your question, you see, when back in the days, I'm talking of the early 2000s,
Right.
the people that we looked up to. I mean, at the time, there was something that anybody wanted to finish school and travel out. None of us were really looking to stay in Cameroon again.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite challenging because most of those who went abroad, we did not really see any foreseeable future of them. And for those who were still staying in the country, there wasn't much certainty as to what was going on.
Right.
Matter of fact, you had to come from a well-to-do family to have some certainty in your life. So for some of us who really didn't have this certainty, it was kind of confusing. It was blurred what we could do, what we have to do, and all of that. I remember right after high school, what most people don't remember, I used to be a phone repairer. I started my first business, working on phones. And that was when phones just came into the country. And we're lucky to be one of those who were
Mm-hmm.
working in the technology aspect of repairing phones. When time came, I was lucky to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I soon realized that not everybody could make it out there. I realized, when I went there, I found many people who had traveled and they had not gone anywhere. They had not gone further in life.
Mm-hmm.
We only saw pictures, we only heard phone calls, but we realized the realities of it wasn't really, really that. And early on, I think I made a decision that I wanted to come back home because, I mean, as much as I was doing cell phone repairs back in the country, I wasn't doing bad. I was making some little decent money. And I think I found out that I could do better coming back to Cameroon than actually being there. Because I looked at it and I said, I mean, what would be my life in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years in
Right.
America?
Right.
uh, I didn't see it as a success because I mean I could see people who had been there for 40 years, and there wasn't much that they could show for, and that was what started driving me back. I remember I was a pharmacy student, um, and at one point I had to ask myself that question: what is success as a pharmacist? Does it just mean that you end up working as a pharmacist, you prescribe meds to people, you
Mm-hmm.
sell medications, and then you make money? All of that,
Um, I guess the network is a bit.
for how?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you hear me now?
Oh, right. I think it's breaking, but it's okay.
I
We'll
can hear
get you
you.
back. We understand. Can you hear
Better
me?
now?
Your screen
Yes,
is
turn on.
has gone blackout already. So I'm not sure why. Guys, CEO of Greenhouse Ventures is here to answer your many questions. Okay, just bear with it. He's back in Cameroon at the moment, and you guys know how it is with the internet connections out there. I'm gonna just be taking your comments. Okay, if you have any ideas, because this show is all about pitching ideas, business ideas, asking all of those questions that you've always come to ask Auntie Deli, and she cannot answer them. I'm not sure if he's back. No, not yet. But just so you know that he's going to connect, so just be patient, and then he's back. It's all about answering everything entrepreneur. I won't be talking much. That's why you see me ask questions and listen to him talk, because he has the blueprint when it comes to business and entrepreneur in Cameroon, especially amongst the youths. Roland, tell us, you left from um, pharmacist, studying pharmacist, and boom, agriculture. What's the link? What's the liaison between I studied this and then I'm now working as a boss in the agriculture, the least, like I said, the least conventional sector when it comes to youth and their passion in Cameroon.
Well, you see, when I decided I wanted to come back home, and I made that decision long enough. I mean, 2 years in America, I made a decision I wanted to move back home. The question was, what are you going to do at home? Am I coming back to get employment under, is it private sector, government sector? Am I coming back to start a company? I mean, they had I had all these questions that I had to answer. And the key was for me to come back and start something on my own.
Right.
Again, I was not a very bright student in class, so I wasn't thinking of engineering, and I wasn't thinking of engineering and medicine and all those big fields. So I said to myself, which field is it that has the least competition? Which field is it that is so on disregarded? Which field is it that no one is paying attention to? I mean, one rule of business is the first thing you do to start a business is identify the need.
Right.
Where is the need? What is the need? And that was what happened. I realized that the agricultural sector had a huge need, and there was really nobody playing in that field. And that was how I made up my mind that, okay, agriculture would be the field that I would look to get into. But the question was, what would be the field that I decide to, what would it be that I decide to do in that field? You see, and that was when I started thinking, well, my background, I studied technology entrepreneurship. And
Right.
at the time, we're thinking, okay, what technologies could make sense in agriculture? So we started developing technologies that could be used in agriculture. And that's how, of course, you read it in my autobiography. We introduced the first solar dehydrators in Cameroon. We introduced green charcoal.
Roland, please,
I mean, that's
please, please. Solar dehydration. See, can you break down these things? It's a lot of these young stars who don't understand this your big term.
solar
Please, I beg
dehydrator.
you. So what? Before we even get into the crux of all of this, solar dehydration. Oh, hi, boo boo. Oh, that's the next boss, man. Oil is being passed down. It's amazing how you juggle all of this, family, being a CEO, being a lecturer, an entrepreneur, and all of this, and you still come out top notch. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. I know in the course of the show you're going to tell us how you managed to juggle that, because most people want to get into all of this, but they're thinking, I have too many kids, I have a wife, I have these people to take care of. Let's, before I get into the paying off bit, okay, because I know a lot of us are skeptical to drop our jobs and venture into business full time like that. How easy was it for you to start off in Cameroon and actually progress in it?
Well, I will not say it was very easy, because just like you've noticed, you had so many things that you had to juggle. I mean, think about it. Your parents have spent a lot to send you abroad, and you're telling them that you want to move back home.
Tell
And
me
then
about that. Tell me about that.
and then most of it is that you're coming back to do agriculture, farming. You have all these things, and you don't have capital. You don't come from a family that someone is going to hand down some bank accounts to you to do all
Exactly.
of that. So there were a lot of uncertainties, and then you have a wife, you're looking to raise a family, you have all these details that you have to handle. Honestly, it wasn't easy at all. But the key was, how do you make others understand the vision that you have?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the key moment in making everyone understand that you had a vision and making them believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was to me the biggest challenge. And the moment the moment they could that was when I realized, okay, now people are beginning to believe in what I do, and that actually fortified my ambition, because now I now have people who look up to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now have people who look up to me, and now have people who believe in me, and now have people who depended on me. and
Exactly.
I had to do everything. I remember
And
one time.
it was worth it after all. But hey, Roland, come on. It's a lot of youngsters who have tried this path that you have ventured in and they're not succeeding. And most of them are here in the comments and they would want to know what your secret was, how you got it, the challenges, the hiccups you had along the way, what you did. Did you take loans? You know, everybody is eager to know if at some point in time there was this national or financial institution that came to your rescue. Did you inherit some of these things from your daddy? You know, it's easy to come online and say that, oh, stop your jobs. You know what? Agriculture is the next oil and gas, blah blah blah. All of those things. It's easier said than done. I know most of them. I speak the mind of a lot of Cameroonians listening to me right now. They want to venture into these things. Can what is expected? What are the hurdles? Can we start even from answering one? Mr. Babila Donald is asking, you made mention of solar dehydration, and I told you you've got to be breaking down these terms. So let's start from there before we get into how your journey has been up to moment.
Yes, a solar dehydrator. It's I would say it's a mechanism that we developed at the time. It was something that was used to dehydrate water from food, so it was used for food preservation.
Hmm.
So it sucks out the moisture without denaturing the main nutrients of it. So we could dry things like meat, like fish, like fruits. Even we were looking to dry mangoes, pineapples, and all of these things. So that's the whole idea of solar dehydration. So it dries something without really heating it.
Right. And every
Yes,
nutrient stays.
every nutrient stays. Every
Right.
nutrient
And it's
stays.
it's organic like that.
Very, 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 very.
Babila Donald,
Sorry.
I hope you got that explanation. Some of us are just getting to understand that as well. I read it in your bio, but I'm not sure if I understood exactly what you were on about. So it's a fancy way, guys. Solar dehydration is a fancy way of drying things outside, drying, soaking water from things. It's a fancy word for it, okay? Just so you guys understand. I mean, this is a boss man, so he's used to complex matters. But hey, on Delhi's matchups is a lot of young stars, like I said, who are barely trying to understand a lot of these concepts. So please bear with us, okay, when we have to insist that you break some of these things to us. Now, some questions are already coming. But like I said earlier, I want us to know, take us through your journey as an entrepreneur. When you launched, what were the hurdles you faced? What challenges you faced? Did you at some point envisage getting to this level? And did you at some point feel like, you know what, this is wrong? I'm not gonna do this. You know what, this is not where I've been called. Did you regret your choices? At some point in time, did you have people who said, you know what, you're wasting your time? Like, you know what, man, not in this Cameroon now. Now pay this, you ain't succeed past for here. Tell us, man. We want to hear those stories. Let us know.
Well, I would tell you this. The first thing was making up my mind to come back to Cameroon. That was an all or nothing choice that I made, and I understood that it was one that I would have to take the responsibility. I would take the blame if anything ever went wrong. So it was like a swim or sink. I had no other option. I wasn't juggling two other options. I wasn't saying that if I come to Cameroon it doesn't work, then I go back. No, no, I didn't have that option.
Right.
The first thing I would tell anyone is the determination. You must be very determined. So many of you are so undecided about your entrepreneurial journey. You take it as an option. To me, it wasn't an option. It was a choice, a decision I had made, and it was only one and only decision that I had made at the time. Uh, I told myself I was going to come to Cameroon by any means, against all odds, whatever it would take, I would make it. I have seen people make it in Cameroon, and I knew that I would be the other person that would make it. There was no other thing. It didn't matter if there was an earthquake. It didn't matter if there was war that ravaged. I had this mindset that even if there was a plane crash, I would be the one person that would survive. You
Mm-hmm.
get me? So I
Mm-hmm.
was at that point. There was nothing that was even gonna move me a bit. I mean, I fell out of I fell out from, my relationship with so many people, family, friends. There were many people who never believed what we had. I mean, I even
Right.
had an uncle who even told me that, hey, others go to America to become lawyers, doctors, and engineers, and I come to become a farmer. I want to come teach them something that they've done for 200 years and no
And
success. And I,
it's not taking them anywhere.
yeah, I mean, I had things like that. I had a minister tell me that greenhouses are not for Cameroon. I should go back to the US and this and that. I mean, I had all these things happening, but I had only one choice. That was the first thing that made it. I had no other choice. I had no other place to look at. There was only one thing, and one, Cameroon, two was just agriculture. So that was key. Pay attention here.
Right. Guys,
So
I know you guys are enjoying the show, okay? Please pump him hearts, more hearts, more hearts. Like I said, there's no limit to how many times you can pump hearts. There's no limit to how many times you can share this video. Share, tag your friends who are interested in entrepreneurship. I know it's a lot of people out there who want to venture into it. People are tired of their 9 to 6 jobs. People are tired, but there's that uncertainty. But if, of course, it's one thing to sit and write books and say that, oh, you should not do all of this. Not, but there's this one person who is seated in our midst and who has become a household name and started from scratch. And like you heard him say, if he can do it, there's no reason why you cannot do it. Okay. And guys, he is doing it in Cameroon. That's the most interesting bit. Because it's one thing to say that people are doing greenhouse ventures in America. They have all these organizations supporting their works. They have all of these facilities. They have these very sophisticated machines and all of that. Roland, tell us your journey. I need to know, because it's you and I talk, but I never get to understand how you could weather all the storms to this level. Just can you just list the different challenges you faced apart from family telling you could not do it? When you launched into the deep, I call it like that. You launched into the deep. Did you at some point face the financial challenges? How did it go? We want to hear that story. Was there a time when you felt like, I'm doubting this thing too. Wasn't that time you developed cold feet? Let us know about that. I see your comments, guys. I'm going to project it, okay? Send your questions. Every business, like I said, business and entrepreneur questions or concerns you have. And our guru is here to answer all of them. G. Constance, I think Roland's network is acting up, but that
can you
notwithstanding,
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you, but your image is your screen is frozen like that. So
What's happening there?
I'm not sure why. I guess internet, of course. Um, Sorry, some of these people need to be spammed immediately. Guys, share this video. Share, and share, okay? Because the boss is around and we'll be doing this every Wednesdays, same time. Okay, it's 7 o'clock Cameroon time, just so wherever you are in the world, you can always relate with that time. Okay. So yeah, Roland is back. Did you get my question before you went off?
Yes, I got your question. I was actually here.
Right.
I don't know how come it went off.
Yeah.
So yes, to your question, can you hear me now?
5 on 5.
Thank you. Yes, there were several challenges, of course, but like I said, the first thing to me was I had no other option but to make it. And to reiterate again, I don't come from any family with anybody handing you, checks or sending you to the bank or any of that.
Godfathers.
There was none of it. And coming to that reality that okay, you have to start a business and you have to raise funds. You have to do this is I want to take this moment to share with you guys a few secrets that I have had. The first one of it was getting a team. And this is what I tell people. I didn't start my business with money. I started my business with a team. Once I understood that I had an idea that could sell, I had to find out who is the team that I wanted to work with.
Wow,
And with
wow.
that team now,
Take that
because
back. Wait. That's such a vital thing you said. You did not start your organization with money. You
no,
started it
no,
with a team. Can you break that
yes,
down, please?
okay. So yes, starting with a team, what does that mean? People do not invest in your idea; they invest in you, and they invest in your team.
Oh,
So
okay.
somebody would
I thought it
invest
was the
one.
other way around. People, you
No, no,
pitch
no,
your idea, people buy it, and then they
no,
invest in it.
no, no, no. It's a lie because anybody can have that idea. You understand? I mean,
Mm.
look at Facebook today. Before there was Facebook, we had High Five, we had MySpace, we had all these things.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It took Mark Zuckerberg to come in with Facebook. People invest in the person, not
Right.
in the idea, because any person can have the idea. That's why they can steal ideas, but they cannot steal the person. So I had to understand that who am I? I had to first of all evaluate myself, but to evaluate yourself, you had to get a team
Right.
because on one side also, people will tell you that I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. They can invest in Roland FOMUNDAM, but what if Roland FOMUNDAM goes down the road today and he gets knocked down by a car and then
Mm.
cannot walk again? What do
Right.
we do? So the idea was getting a team. And of course, I didn't have money, but I realized that I have my childhood friends who are in places that could be used. So I called
Okay.
my friend Clifford and I told him, hey, I have this idea, this is what I'm working on, this and that. He's a certified chartered accountant, and I got him on board as a CFO. Of course, for you to attract money, you must show that you have somebody who can manage that money.
Right.
Then I got my other friend John Halle, who is a legal mind, and I said, "Hey, I have this idea. I'm looking to do A, B, C, D. Can you join me on this journey?" He said, "Hey, brother, why not?" So I have now a legal mind. Then I have my classmate, Michael, who of course was a marketer, and I said, "Hey, I have this idea. We need to market it. You mind joining on? And when things begin to make sense, we share the process." And that's how we started. So I started with a team of four.
Mm.
Down the road, I added some other person, Hila Eben, on IT. And then further down, I had people like Debo and the rest who joined me to facilitate the vision. But the key was we built a team without money.
Mm.
And most people don't understand, but most people saw that we had money before bringing a team, but we never
Mm.
had money. We had a
But
team.
that's always the challenging bit, Most of them are thinking, I need money to start up this, I need to have drawn this. Okay. Tell us about the business, when the business plan set in, at what stage. And before we get into that, just so that we don't miss some of the comments, because some people are already asking questions. There's this comment by Ayon Ofundem. She's saying, I'm interested in entrepreneurship. After my law degree, all I dream is business. My family has lost confidence in me. I was amongst the trio who opened the first tomato in Manu and love to invest in farming. But the only thing I have now is land. If I can have plantation seedling. I'm not sure Ayon Ofundom, I'm not sure if what exactly you want out of this. I'm not sure if it's you're trying to pitch an idea.
Yes, no, I get
Well,
no,
anyways,
I get Ayoung's
okay,
question.
cool.
Mhm. But I get Ayoung's question. His first question would be: is plantation investment, is it a viable investment? And if yes, he is looking to have plantain seedlings and all of that.
Right,
But let me finish what I was saying before I answer that question, because I think what I was saying is so valuable. A lot of
right,
people ask me that, and anytime I tell people that you don't need money to start business first, there's always that argument, that how come you don't need money when business is all about money? And I tell
right,
people that no, you never need money at the very start. If there is any person who wants to start a business and believes that what they need first is money, they're climbing the wrong tree.
right,
Unless you have your means, unless you already have money to start. But if you don't have money and then you want to go out raising money, it's different. It's different if Delhi already has 10 million saved up and now she wants to get into an agribusiness. That's different from somebody who just has an idea to start an agribusiness and then decides, okay, now I want to raise money, I want to do that, I want to do that. You see, those are two different individuals. So what I'm
Right.
trying to say is that the first thing you always want to get is a team, because that team would help you revise your idea. That team would also bring about a network that would help you to attract funding.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not just talking about raising, 100,000. You
Right.
get me? I mean, if you want to talk real business, you need to be talking some substantial amounts. What happens with most people is that you start as an individual and you can only raise 100,000. Yes, you raise money, but 100,000 is not going to take you anywhere. And that's why some people, they start a business and they never grow,
Yeah.
because you started by yourself and you realize that that business is all about you and it can only end within yourself. Any person who has done business today and is succeeding will tell you that there was a network around them that helped them to build that business. Be it Kaji, be it Photo, be it Nanga, be it Bill Gates, be it Delhi Singer.
But Roland, not to cut you, I think I speak the minds of loads of those who are listening to you, who are thinking maybe that bit or that route is for the very complex kind of businesses. I just want to do my business, start my business for 50,000. I don't want bad belly people to come and finish my capital. Why am I bringing in all of these people and all of that? Are you in essence saying that? Excuse me. All of these, there should be, you should get this team put in place regardless of the size of your business. Is that what you're saying?
I like to say it that way because, Cameroon is a different environment on its own. There are so many people who start businesses in Cameroon and so many of them do fail. And you have to understand, the key is not just starting a business, the key is sustaining your business. So many
Mm.
people fail. So many businesses are failing. I mean,
Guys,
look
write
from the
that
last
down in
10
the
years.
comments, guys. Sorry, Roland, I'm cutting you. The key is not starting the business, the key is sustainability. So it's not about startup. Anybody can start up. Okay.
Anybody,
You see a lot of
anybody.
posters on social media, these beautiful ideas, beautiful concepts, in fact, beautiful posters, beautiful logos, and it ends at the level of 2, 3 likes, 4 likes. Oh, wow, wow, wow. And that's it. It never sees the light of the next day. So it is not about starting, it's sustainability. And Roland, we would love for you to talk about that sustainability, but just go on so that I don't stop the flow.
Yes, yes. So I like to tell people that don't start a business that will last you 1 year, 2 years. Don't just start a business that would solve your hunger for a day. You see, what we have done with Greenhouse Ventures, even if I am not here today, the company will live on. And
Mm,
those are the businesses that Cameroonians or Africans should start looking to do. The idea
right.
of short-term business, short-term gratification, it's costing us a lot more than it is gaining us. I mean,
Mhm.
that's something that it's like you buy a second-handed vehicle and every day you're in the garage. You spend more time just trying to repair that vehicle than actually making money from that vehicle. And we don't tend to see that. We have spent so much just trying to solve a problem than
Penny
actually trying to
wise,
grow.
penny wise, pound foolish.
Pound foolish. That is the key. So I always tell people, I mean, look in the last 10 years, and I would say this about myself. If any one of you who's been following me, if you go on my Facebook profile for the last 10 years, you will see my consistency from the day I made the first post to how I started the first greenhouse to
Mm.
when I did all of that to now. That is the history that we have in. But there are so many who have fallen along the way. Believe me, every day there are new businesses. There are over 150 incubators in Cameroon, but you cannot boast of 5 businesses that have been born out of these incubators.
Tell me
But there are
about it.
startups every day. The government will tell you they're sponsoring startups. And then people have taken on this notion that, oh, Cameroon is this, Cameroon is that. They want to blame the country. They want to make excuses. They want to talk about that. No, you have to, before you get into business, especially in a country like Cameroon, you must understand that Cameroon is a rough territory for business. Not rough that, you have a lot of gangsters. No, it's just that we have not yet had a system of doing business in the country. You
Mm-hmm.
know, those who came ahead of us, like the late Kajis, the late Photos, there is no manual that we have read from them. Somebody like me doing greenhouse, I am the first to do greenhouse. No one has ever done it. I am actually writing my scripts. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? I am trying to make sure that the scripts that I write today could be read by somebody tomorrow, and the person coming tomorrow would understand where I failed and how I failed and how they could make it. But most businesses today, you don't have those scripts. And don't believe that, oh, you would come, somebody will write you how to succeed, you go to church, you would pray, and then all of a sudden, boom, you will succeed. Many people fail because of that. And many of them, I see them complaining. And sometimes it is sad because it is hard for you to even help them because they already had one way of wanting to do business. So that is to tell you that business is not only about starting, it's how you sustain the business. As a
Right.
matter of fact, most challenging in the business is how you sustain it. And sustainability is how you keep it going on and on. And your sustainability comes from being consistent. You see, my mentor told me one thing: always keep aiming your mud at the wall, and someday some of it will stick.
Can you say
What
that
I'm trying
again? And then maybe you want to tell us about tell us who your mentor is. Can you say that again? Take that again, please.
yes, that keep aiming your mud at the wall. So you're aiming mud at the wall. You know, mud normally is not very sticky, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you keep doing it continuously, someday some of it will stick. And I
I
never
love that.
understood what that meant. I never understood what that meant. But what he meant was remain consistent and keep hitting at the same spot. Someday that mud that goes and hits back, someday it will stick on that wall. And the
Mm.
second thing he told me, you never know who is watching. Just keep working hard.
Tell me about
Someday,
that.
yes, someday you will know who has been watching. And believe me, it has been over 10 years now. And I have people who come up to me and say, hey, Roland, I've been following you for the last 7 years. This, that. And there are so many of them. There are so many people who decide now to buy my products because of how long we have lasted in the business.
Yes.
Many of you are only
You've
seeing,
proven I mean with
yes.
time that you know what you're doing, and
And
you can be you're trustworthy, and people can put their money, of course, and they
exactly.
can
And
bank
that is
on you like that.
and, and that brings me now to the next stage of business: how you raise funds. You see, most Cameroonians or most of those in the startup industry just believe that, oh, let me have a good idea, let me have an idea that can convert, see
Roland,
what
Roland, Roland, this is a very, sorry to cut you. This is a very vital part. How to raise funds in business, of course. We're about to get into that. Guys, you want to share this video, okay? You want to pump hearts as many as possible. You want to tag your friends, share this into groups. It's a lot of knowledge, a wealth, dispenser of knowledge, like I would say, that is happening here, that you don't want to keep it to yourself. Too many people out there need this knowledge, and it's now something that he has taken out time, okay, devoted his time, that he's going to be doing this weekly. So please, guys, the least you can do is share the video, okay? That's the least you can do. I mean, scratch my back, I scratch your back.
so
Right. So he was just about time for us to get into that very important part, because everybody is thinking, I don't have money to start this up. Roland, how do I go about this? Should I borrow money, credit union, and all of that? Tell us about it. How do we go about getting the finance that we need to sustain our businesses?
you see, raising money for business is actually one of the easiest parts, but it looks very, very tricky, and it could be very difficult if you don't have the right foundation. You see, and not to be boastful of it, I can raise 1 billion CFA in 2 months if I
Mm,
really want to and if I need it. Why? And you just said it.
mm,
I have been very consistent. Many people have witnessed what we have done from the last 10 years to now. Many still understand where we are going. Many people are now believing that greenhouses are the way to the future.
mm-hmm,
So it is easy now. And there are lots of people with money. And that is why, if you look on the flip side of it, many people fall for scams. Where do you think the money comes from? I mean,
mm,
the scamming industry is one of the fastest growing industry. Where do you think that is coming from? People have a lot of money. People want to invest. But the problem is that they don't have the right businesses to invest. They don't even have the right people. You have so many people who've started businesses today and tomorrow they're out of business. They start today, and then tomorrow they are looking for a job. They start today, and then the next thing is that they want to switch to something else. You know, there is somebody who started, you know, by trying to sell shoes, and then the next thing is that they're looking to go into fishing. You know, things that are totally unrelated. You see, so one thing I tell people is that get the team that you do need, very important. That team will give you the credibility. That team would bring about, you know, their own networks, and you will need some residual income to help you sustain yourself for the little time that you have to sustain. And the
Mr. Roland,
second
what
thing,
is residual income? I know I asked this question for somebody in the comments. I've
no,
told you to be
residual
checking your terms.
I mean, yes, sorry. You know, I'm talking about income, you know, it's just the basic to take you by, you
Okay.
know, just the little that you need to take you by. And the second aspect I need to talk about raising money is that you need to sacrifice. I cannot say this enough. You find somebody who is looking to raise funds for business, and then you see that person in a bar and is throwing out bottles of black label, and you know, I mean, your investor is right there and looking at how you are actually just wasting money. I mean, come on.
I know,
And then
right? And we
you're
complain
posting on
like, oh
Facebook.
my God, oh
Yeah,
my
you're
God.
posting on
You
Facebook.
just touched something, man.
Yeah, you're posting on Facebook how you spend money, and I mean, or you there's all of that. Oh,
Living
you
your
are that
best
person.
life.
Yeah, you're that person who's looking to dress in Gucci's and giving cheese and all of that. You know, you have to know. Like I say, you don't know who's watching. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. Look at Dangote. Look at Steve Jobs. Look at Jeff Bezos. Look at all these guys who've made money. You don't see them wearing brands. You understand? It's something that we have to understand about being humble, but being able to sacrifice. You know, we would love to wear all those things. We would love to ride in big cars. We would love to live in big homes. We would love to have a lavish life. But once you are in the business of entrepreneurship, and Delia, I know you remember the post I made on entrepreneurship. I said entrepreneurship is sacrifice.
Complete
You are,
sacrifice, man.
yes, you are a sacrificial lamb. You have to give up certain things. I gave up an entire lifestyle. Those who knew me, you know, back in the days, are actually very surprised of who I am right now, because there was a lot I had to give away for the life that I was choosing to carry on going forward.
Right.
It is something that many have to understand. You know, it's not about what business plan, what business model. No. You have to sacrifice. And then the third aspect, being able to raise money, you have to be humble. I see a lot of arrogant people out there who cannot even hold their peace and patience for one bit. And then next minute they'll come out and then they want to raise money. You don't know who is that person who would contribute to your business. You don't know who is that one person who is going to refer you to some other person. You see, there are so many things that we do wrong and expect to have right even when we do wrong. So raising money, like I said, is very easy. And the last element of raising funds is being very disciplined. So one, creating a network. Two, making a sacrifice. Three, being humble. And four, being very disciplined. You must be very disciplined. I was with my friend, the guy who owns the Jefobi Bakery, and he told me one thing. He told me when he started investing in business, or when he wanted to invest in his business, he had a plan. Even though he was making at least 200,000 francs a day from his bakeries, all he ate every day was 400 francs. It didn't matter how much he made. He told me that he employed people who ate more money per day than he did, but he was only on 400 francs a day. He sacrificed so many things. He was so disciplined to the core. You have certain hours of sleep, and all of that, you did that because you had a sacrifice. And you had to be very disciplined. Believe me, if you do these four things, raising funds would not be any issues. We are at the point right now in our company where it's we can raise any amount of money, but also you have to be very, very accountable. And that's the fifth element. How accountable are you? You must be able to show what you have done with 1,000 francs for you to ask somebody for 100,000. Some of you just wake up in the morning and say, oh, yes, I have a business. I want to raise money and I'm looking for 10 million. You have not even shown us what you have done with 1,000 friends. You see what I'm saying? So these are basic lessons that they're not hard, but you don't learn this in any classroom. And for us who have, I can say that we have a leg ahead. We are very busy to be able to mentor people, and it's not easy. And talking about mentorship, most mentees don't even understand how to look for mentors. They believe that a mentor is an obligation. Okay, since Roland FOMUNDAM has made it.
You know what? I think we are going to have to take this mentorship bit in a different, completely different session and really talk
Okay.
about it. Okay, because it's very big like that. I don't want us to run over it. But mentorship, because I was trying to write down some things you were saying, and mentorship is very, very important. Now, the thing is, you're talking about all of this, and I can see myself, I can also situate myself in this. I'm not this much of a guru like you are. I've not gotten to that level where I can raise billions yet, but I can see myself in the different steps that you have placed. Each one of them being disciplined, sacrifice, accountability, humble, and all of that, humility, getting the finances, put in place the right team. I see all of these things, but sometimes it's just that because you are more articulate, you understand exactly what these concepts are all about. Some of us ventured into it haphazardly, I would say, but we can now see where what you're saying, and can situate ourselves in the lectures you're giving. Like I said, we'll keep the mentorship bit for a different session, and I know we can talk all day, Roland. I know that we can. And there's a lot of people in here who are so happy that you came on board. Okay. They have so many questions. I will just read some of them. But you want to start with Ayoung's question. Remember the question on plantation. She mentioned tomatoes, like that. Let me give you the bits, the major aspects I got from her comments. She said tomatoes. She said plantation. She said kitchen idea, something of that sort. You want to answer her question because I think yeah, she's been there. And there's Hezekiah as well, and there's I think Francis as well with questions. So please. Let me not take too much.
Okay. I'm going to get to answer goodness.
But you want me to repeat that question? I could scroll through and see if I can get Ayoung's question.
Yes.
Ayong, if you're still there, you want to put your question again or you rephrase it, okay? If you can copy and paste again in the comments. While I'm getting your comments, let me just project Hezekiah. Hezekiah is saying, thanks for the encouragement, senior. Agriculture was your starting. What about, for example, me, who wants to be an entrepreneur in information and technology?
Yes. You see, so to that question exactly, you have to understand. So this again is like the mentorship question, because many people don't know what they really want to do in life. Many people are doing things based on pressure, either from parents or friends or just society. I mean, Delhi, you understand it. You and I, when we graduating from high school, we had ambitions. What we are doing right now is not what we actually thought we were.
Typical.
So when somebody talks about they want to do information technology, I like to ask them why. What about information technology you want to do? I mean, I remember in one of my in one of my classes, I had to ask a student, engineering student, why did you choose to be a chemical engineer? And this guy boldly told me that, oh, I did that because my uncle is an engineer. I asked another student, why did you choose to come to this school? The guy told me that, oh, I came here because we are Presbyterian and my parents wanted me to come to Presbyterian University. You get me? So, and you get questions like that. You go to universities, there are so many students who are graduating who don't even know why they're graduating. They just want to have a GPA. They just want to say that I'm a graduate. And that is why today you have so many people, and all they have as the next stage is, to write a concours, because they don't even know what they really want to do. So when you say you want to be an entrepreneur in information technology, I have to ask you, what do you really understand about information and technology? What is driving you there? Business, you must be very passionate. You must be very committed. It is not just one of those things that You just do it because, oh, I saw somebody doing it. You see,
Right.
I mean, I would have ended up as a pharmacist. You know, when I told my mother that I was dropping out of pharmacy school, they thought I was gone crazy. You know, you don't want to be a doctor. Our parents with titles now. You don't want to be a doctor.
A doctor, barrister, all of that. Like I tell me about it, man. I can so relate, and I'm certain loads of them watching can relate as well. I see Asa Gideon. Asa Gideon, it's good to have you. I understand this is the slot you would really be passionate about. You and I have an unfinished business with this. Roland can finish your business for you. So it's good that, this is the best time for you to pitch your idea. Roland is going to take you through if that's something you want to do. Of course, he understands exactly what I'm on about. Right. Roland has, in the internet, of course, is messing us again at sea. Can you hear me, Roland?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Asa Gideon, are you there? If you're there, just notify me. I think you've sent a comment. If I can, not sure. A question. You can hear me, but your screen is blank. That's my concern. Hi, guys. Keep pumping hearts, guys. I see us. Pump hearts. Share this video. Okay? This is not hide my ID. This is not all of the things we do on here on a regular. This is a unique, a different a different show altogether, and it's jam-packed with knowledge like that. Okay, you don't want your friends and your family members to miss out on this knowledge that is given to you on a platter like this. Okay, every one of these questions, this is the right place to come to. Every Wednesdays is 7 p.m. Cameroon time. Okay, I am just to see if Roland is back. It's not yet back. I'll just jack him off and see if he comes back. Yes. Pump hearts, guys. More hearts, more hearts. Of course, he will be back in a jiffy. Yeah, this is not hide my ID, guys. I see you, Chris Nana. I see you. Chu Ernestine. Hey, B Helen. I see you. Romy. Hey, Magweg Lillian. Achu Maureen. Hi. I see you guys. Dilis Singer. I see you. All of you keep sharing the video, guys. Share, and share. Okay. Still not having him. I will just see. So if you have your questions, because we're about to round up, can you just put it in the comments while he makes his way back into the studio? It's a video. There's a video on about him. Okay, he had an interview. It's an excerpt from his video that I would love to play before we get him back. Roland is trying to reconnect before we get him back. It's a short video, a clip, I would say. And I was amazed by, the audience. I was amazed by his entourage. I was amazed because, at his age, at that time, the things he was dealing with, the things he was saying, how confident he was. This is the go-to person, guys. This is the go-to person. Roland is back in here, and just before we get him on the screen, I would love for us to watch this very interesting excerpt from his one of his interviews with a TV channel. Guys, share the video, pump hearts. I know this is not our very hide my ID sort of, but this is far important than all of that. Okay.
Small-scale farmers are among the poorest and the hungriest in the world. Yet in Africa, agricultural communities make up 65% of Africa's labor force and account for 32% of gross domestic product. Efforts by governments and the development community at large to support small-scale farming in sub-Saharan Africa are not yielding significant results. Now, for perspective into some alternative ways that could help find lasting solutions to tackle challenges facing Africa's farming communities, I'm joined by ROLAND FOMUNDAM. He's a social entrepreneur and founder and CEO of Greenhouse Ventures. Welcome to Africa 54, Mr. FOMUNDAM. Yeah?
Yes, you're very right. Thank you for having me.
Now, farming is a critical sector for the African continent. African nations are literally sustained by small-scale farmers.
Right.
What are, in few words, what are some of the challenges these farmers really have to face every day?
Yes, farmers face a number of issues. First of all, production. Having constant production every day, every time, and prices, it's a very big problem. Seasonality also affects farming because that also affects prices and fluctuations. So, for example, in Cameroon, you would have, during the mango season, a 50-kilogram bag of mangoes would cost about $4 if you convert that. And during the off-season, you probably have no mangoes, and they even get more expensive. If one mango of those is sold here in the US, you would probably sell for about $3.50 if it's been processed and dried. So it's a very, very big challenge because small-scale farmers, they work their hardest, and they're not involved in the value chain of the produce. And that makes it in such a way that you have farmers who work, grow all the food, and actually don't have much to eat, or what they get to consume. It's very poor quality.
Now, you've been working to try and see how you can, sort out some of those issues. Just can you lay out some of the strategies that you think can work across the continent?
Yes. First of all, we had to understand what was the underlying problem in agriculture. First, it's involving a population that is very, very active. Today in Africa, you have the older generation that is still involved in farming. And that is because farming is still done the way it was done 500 years ago. Youths are totally disengaged from this farming activity. So first of all, we have to find ways to involve more youths in farming so that you can increase productivity. Because the older generation, they're getting tired. They have other things to worry about.
So you want to try and make it, not look like something people do because they have no education, they're poor, and they have nothing better to do.
Yes, that has actually been a stereotype. In America, if you talk to a farmer, you don't have that stereotype. Yeah. You understand? In Africa, of course, when you talk of someone being a farmer, someone who lives in the village, yeah, they're poor, they're illiterate, and all of that. And it's been a stereotype that has affected farming for a very, very long time.
So what more, because we don't have a lot of time, really can be done to first to give the incentive, but also to make it worth their time and their energy?
Yes, creating structures or infrastructures that can actually involve farmers and actually enabling them to produce year-round, and also engaging them in ways they can actually sell at competitive prices. Mm-hmm. It's very, very important.
Now, the governments have not succeeded very much in this area. How do you come in?
Good. Governments usually haven't solved all the problems of several communities. Where we come in is where we say we have introduced a technology that is novel, a technology that is very sustainable. It is friendly. But more so, our greenhouses have been used to grow more per unit area. We grow more healthier crops and crops that could be sold at a premium on any market. So in such a way, you are engaging farmers in a way that they grow, they also consume what they produce, and also they can actually sell at competitive prices on any markets globally.
Mm-hmm. So you are enabling them to actually grow throughout the year.
That's right.
And hopefully take advantage of prices when they're of more benefit to them.
Very true. But more so, we have made in such a way that we are looking to stabilize the prices we have on the market. So we focus on three main areas: production, aggregation, and then post-harvest management, which are the key things that once you can engage these three areas, and then you're actually being able to engage farmers in the value chain of the produce.
We really need to appreciate and love our farmers. They feed the entire continent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us and giving us this insight.
Thank you.
Well, ROLAND FOMUNDAM is a social entrepreneur, founder and CEO of Greenhouse Ventures.
Woo, 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 bravo, bravo, bravo. Just about time for me to bring our CEO and founder of Greenhouse Ventures again. Man, you see the way your package here, I mean, I stand there, I was dumbfounded watching you. It's just too many things, and the beautiful bit is how you manage to break this stereotype around agriculture, and it's a happening thing right now, and people want to relate with you and be part of this bandwagon. Is what I'm yet to wrap my head around. Okay, let's keep that video for later. I guess the video was self-explanatory. there's a lot in the comments that you would want to attend to, because we have, of course, guys, it's an hour 30-minute slot. It was supposed to be 1 hour, but we've, of course, because today we're just starting, and of course we have to extend. I would take some of the comments. I saw, I did project that. Let me go back to Ayong's comments. Roland, can you read on the screen? Easier. Can you see from the
Yes, I can read. I can
right?
read.
So that's the comment. I brought it back. If you can get it.
Yes, I'm interested in entrepreneurship after my law degree. All I had a dream in business. I was amongst the trio opened the first tomato farm in Manu 2015. Right now I possess land and would love to acquire plantain tubers. I mean, you know, one thing I like to make people understand, the business of agriculture is to make it profitable. It's a business of numbers. The mistake that we have always made about investing in agriculture is that we have always ignored those numbers. You know, what do I mean by ignoring numbers? When when you look at planting things like plantains or palm trees and any of that, and then you have to do now that estimation as to how much you can harvest, how much it can be sold, where it will be sold, for how much. Like I said, business is not starting, business is sustainability. There are so many people who are doing so many agricultural businesses and they are failing. You know, many people who got into cash crops, it didn't mean that they were making cash. Cash
Right.
crop just meant you got cash ahead. And that was like a mafia system that, these companies put forward. Like, imagine the people doing cocoa. When you are a cocoa farmer, what happens is that the cocoa companies buys your cocoa farm before you even get to harvest. So they buy at a predetermined price, which favors them. They can say, okay, I would buy for 300 francs a kilogram, and then they pay you that money up front. To the point when you harvest and you realize that cocoa at that time, maybe it's 1,000 francs, but you already sold it out. It's the same thing for things like plantains. When you have to start deciding, okay, I want to get into things like plantains, you have to think of it. Where is your market? How much are you going to sell for? What is it that could affect your plantation?
Sorry, not cutting you. I hope Ayong is listening. Can you get the answers to your questions now? Because he's just filling them. We started with where is and writing. Yes, Roland.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes. I mean, I am using his question to answer many more questions in terms
Yes, of course.
Yeah, what kind of agri investments can you get into? I stand to discourage many people who get into agricultural investments that are long term. You see, when you are doing vegetable farming, I harvest every week. I mean, every week, 52 weeks out of the year, we're harvesting, which making money from that farm. Within 1 year, I've harvested at least 3-4 times, and I've made money.
Can you hear
but
that?
When you have to plant something that you would have to wait 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, too many things happen within that period. I mean, too many things go wrong. Imagine you do palm trees, and you have to wait for 3 years. Within 3 years, I mean, imagine the last 3 years in Cameroon, how many things have gone wrong. We've had the crisis. By the time we had the crisis, we had Corona. By the time we had Corona, we have this. That's you have to think about it. This is not America. This is not Europe, where things are so aligned. People should really take time to understand what kind of business they want to do and in what environment you want to do it. You find somebody doing pineapples, for example. Pineapples take 12 months before you can get to harvest. You understand? And then when you harvest pineapples, everybody around you is harvesting pineapples. So to the point that when you harvest, you have no value for your products. So that is something that many people are facing. So my friend who is right there, I would like, these are one of the guys that I like to advise.
I don't know if he's a he or a she though. I'm not sure because it's a lady on the profile, but it looks like it's a man's name. I'm not sure.
Ayong, whoever it is, you are the type of them. I like to advise because I like to advise people on the type of business to get into. First of all, you have the passion. and you have a willingness to do business, it is good. But the right business is also matters a lot. It doesn't mean that if you have land in Manu, you should just go and put plantains there, because yeah, you can put plantains and they will grow and then you will harvest and then you can just take to market. You see, you must first of all understand where is the market you have to sell to. I have a friend who had a farm in Ekilewindi, over 10 hectares of plantains, and the crisis came, everything was down. I mean, I even had a friend in Europe who had 600 hectares of plantains, and everything was down. You know, these are investments that people should really be thinking. Are you willing to invest that much? You know, some people just say, oh yeah, because my neighbor is doing cocoyams, I would also do cocoyams. And they end up having a very bad way of business. Okay, Young is a lady. Sorry. So what I like to do is take time and try to understand what is the business you want to do. What do you have to do that business? But where is the market, and how ready is your market to buy your products, your produce, and at what price? You see, the business that we do, by the time I harvest tomatoes, bell peppers, or whatever, there is a market already. I don't plant anything that I don't have a market for yet. You know, we cannot keep doing business the same way that our parents have been doing business and expect that we'll have different results. Many people do business today and expect that, oh yeah, I will go and sell in Munya market because Munya market is every Wednesday. I will go and sell in Kumba market because Kumba market is every Friday. No, you don't do that. You don't do business in an educated era like this and still think the same way our parents were thinking. So to your question again, be it tomatoes, be it plantains, I like to ask you, where is your market? Before asking me for plantain tubers or plantain seedlings, whatever they are, where is your market? How much are you going to sell a bunch of plantain for? What plantain variety are you looking to have? All these questions you really have to answer. But the problem again is many people don't like to answer these questions because sometimes the questions it make you think, and sometimes it make you think you're stupid. But you're really not stupid. You're just thinking for the sake of the business. So I mean, I want to leave it as that at that, and I think we can carry this very question to the next sessions that we're going to be having. So we can take time.
Exactly. It's a lot of sessions we'll be having, guys. So when each section you can be sure to gain one or two things that is going to build your whatever plan or business idea you're looking at pitching. Okay. And let's see if you're taking if you can take wow, pedicure. Okay, G Constance. There's this one on the screen. I don't know if you see that. Wow, this is great, and I wish to say, I mean, I'm aspiring to start up a business in manicure and pedicure, and you said it's all about finding a team. So I just want to ask, how do you find your team?
Good. You want to do manicure pedicure? Have you learned it before? If you have learned it, wherever you learned it at, that is where your team, you can get your team. You know, the people that you learn at the salon or wherever, the pedicure, manicure shop that you learned at, you find your team right there. And as a matter of fact, you start even finding your customers right there. You see, people, you know, we tend to create a lot of enmity amongst us, not knowing that the people around us are those to take us even higher. I find it very absurd sometimes when I find people on Facebook and they're fighting and they're quarreling and they're insulting one another, bashing against people for no good reason. You don't even know somebody and you're insulting them. That person can become your business partner. That person can become your own client. I make 70% of my business on Facebook. I mean, this is free advertising that I do get. You know, and that has been a winning proposition for me. I raise over 80% of all the amount of money I need only on Facebook, not even Twitter, not even Instagram. And there are all these things that we have to do. So yes, when you want to find a team, start finding a team. What kind of team do you need? First of all, what expertise do you have? You see, I never studied agriculture. I never went to any school of agriculture.
I was just about asking that. Has it to do with your field of expertise? Is it just your friends who are willing to start up something with you? Is it how do you go about that?
Yes. First of all, you have to use what you have to get what you do not have. So that is key. Who are you? What do you have? The sad thing again is most people don't even know who they are. They don't even know what they have. They don't even know what they don't have. So this is even going again even deeper. But you have to ask the question.
What you have, it's a lot of things we have to talk about. From every indication, we've just been shooting from different angles like that. Of course, guys, this is, like I said, this is the first. Now we understand the complexity of what we are into. Okay, so we would obviously put our stuff together. We would take this topic by topic, so it's easier. Am I right, boss?
Yes,
Yes,
very, very good.
like next week, if we're coming on the importance of mentorship or mentors in businesses. Okay, so we can have all of those questions that would relate to mentorship and business like that. But that notwithstanding, we'll always take the side comments and the side questions that, even if it's not related to the topic of that day, I think it makes sense that way, right? So just so that we don't touch this, touch that, and touch that. Let me see if I can take. There's Fobang Mbacha. I think George is like your biggest fan for today. He's very happy. He's saying that, sir, what about those that are out there but really want to open agricultural businesses back home? How do they have a good team? So I think it's a bush fuller talking, asking that question, like how do they get these things? Because you had your own team, you were down, you were on ground zero, as it's called. He is here. How does he get to do that? Is it still the same thing? I guess if that's the question he's asking.
No, I get his question. The key thing is you have to, what kind of a team member are you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
You see, I like to be very, very clean and like crystal clear on every aspect, and that is what many people really need to do. When you say you want to open up an agricultural business back home, what kind of agricultural business do you want to open? Is it a production business? Is it a transmission business? Is it a sales or distribution business? That matters. So if it is production, now you're looking at farmers. You're looking at people on the ground. Who are they? What qualification do you need them? And where is the location? Because if you are somewhere in Sang Malema, where most people there don't do farming, they are more into forestry, and you're now looking for agri farmers, you're in the wrong place. But in that case, you can go to Northwest, Southwest, in the Western region where you have farmers, and you take them there. If you want to open an agricultural business in Marua, for example, where nobody there does farming, now you have different challenges to really do. So my thing is, I don't want to give general answers for things that need to be very, very specific.
Exactly. That's always the tricky bit. Yeah.
Yes.
I get it.
And that's why I said on some of these sessions we would do consulting. I like to take business one-on-one and talk to you directly, and you can also tell me exactly what is it that you're really looking to do. And I want to really do this because I am in business. It hardens me. It's very tough for me to find people failing in business. I mean, it is easy for me to see somebody's business and know that this person will not last a year or two. Sometimes you don't even know how to advise them. Sometimes they're already too far in to be advised. Sometimes they don't even like to be advised.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those things that, the agricultural industry today is not attractive for investment. There is no bank that will give you money to invest in agriculture. No bank, none. The only time that is
really?
No, none.
And why is that?
Because there are a lot of uncertainties in agriculture, especially when it comes to production. A bank would fund you if you were doing distribution or you were doing data collection. You see, there is a company in Kenya, they call Trigger, and they are into distribution of foods. You see, what the bank invests in is not the distribution aspect, is the data collection. You get me? Because banks are interested in the data that agricultural companies can bring together, because everybody eats. But the tricky thing is, how do you actually get that? But to go to a bank and tell the bank that, oh, I have a plantation of 10 hectares, I need 10 million, they will tell you, hey, listen, we are not sure if there will be an earthquake. We are not sure if, some flood would happen and it would take away that. We're not sure if that, there are so many things that affect agriculture when you do outdoor farming. So it is very, very tricky to play in that. The reason that greenhouse farming makes so much sense for bankers or investors is because it is controlled. I can tell you with utmost certainty that when I plant tomatoes in my greenhouse that measures 8 meters by 15, I have 350 tomato plants in there. At 3 months, each of those tomatoes would have given me at least 20 fruits, and each of these fruits, all these 20 would give me about 2 kilograms. And these 2 kilograms will be worth, say, 10,000 on this market in Douala or Yaoundé or Nigeria or wherever. You get me? So that is a difference. But you doing plantains, you doing cocoyams, you doing cassava, you cannot even guess any of that, because you don't know if there's rain that will bring down your cassava farm, or people
Right.
will come and kill it, or there's so many things that go wrong. So many a times people need to understand what is the environment in which you're doing business in. It is very important. So agribusiness is a very, very large industry, an industry that many people want to fund, but you don't have huge funds that are coming into that industry. There are
Mm-hmm.
credit unions that will give you money for agriculture, and they'll give you 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. That's all. It's money that a bank can lose. They don't have a problem with that. But to have a bank or an investor give you 10 million, 20 million for an agricultural investment, it really doesn't happen. So people need to start finding ways to formalize the agricultural investments in a way that actually becomes very attractive, or in a way that minimizes all the uncertainties that are in that industry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roland FOMUNDAM. It's too many things we have to talk about, but I'm looking at the time, so we should be rounding up. Now, there's a question on the screen. I don't know if you want to give like 2 words on that before we round up. There's so many of these questions. Titi Cha is saying, I have a eucalyptus forest in my village, and that is a 7 years business. Do you have any advice to give me on that?
Yeah, I mean, eucalyptus, it is used for building, homes and electric poles. Unfortunately, Cameroon now, they don't use eucalyptus trees anymore for electric poles. So they are converting everything now to concrete. So that was a business which, from Foncha and Munas back in the years, they were planting eucalyptus for electric poles. Many people now are moving even away from having rooftops made out of wood. So again, if you really want to make money out of eucalyptus, you have to transform it. How do you transform it? It's a key. I mean, in any business, you have to think of transforming it, because you have to go, and if you want to sell that eucalyptus tree right now, you might be selling one for about 10,000 francs.
Mm.
Whereas if you have to cut it down and transform it, you can make about 100,000. But maybe you don't have money to do the transformation. That is the dead end. So find somebody who has the money, and then come together, you transform it, and then you guys can split the profits. I like to
Mm.
talk on that fact because many of us don't understand the need of partnership. Many people don't understand. We keep thinking that the person next to us is there to steal our business, is there to kill. No, no, no. It's never like that. Always consider partnering with somebody who can take you to the next point, because you cannot be everything. You cannot do it all alone. So
Mm-hmm.
you have eucalyptus trees. If you have to sell them now, you might only sell them for about 10,000 a piece. But if you have to
Mm-hmm.
transform it and make many things come out of it, you can make a lot of money out of that. So take this home. 1% of 1 billion CFA, it's way more than 100% of 1 million. So don't focus on
Say that
trying to make.
again. Say that again, please, before my head scatter with the percentage of billion you said. Whatever you said. 1% of what?
So so I said 1%, 1% of one.
I think we lost him there again, guys. It's an interesting. I mean, guys, it's just about time for us to round up
Can you
again.
hear
I
me?
know.
You there?
I'm sorry, you just got back. Can you just round up with that, because we have barely 30 seconds to go, and let them know the way forward, what we would be talking in subsequent episodes. Can you hear me?
You there? Yeah. I'm right here.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you just round up,
Yes.
please? Just tell them what is expected in our subsequent episodes and, way forward for this, because it's getting interesting. And of course, a lot of people obviously did not know about this. They're getting to know about it. What is the way forward for this? What are you promising them? I mean, in the subsequent episodes.
Yes. Before I round up, there's one question by Nuno Atu, and I want to take that because it's
What? No, no,
francophone,
at you.
and I
I
like that.
didn't see that. I'm sorry, at you. Let me see if I can project it so that others can see. No, no, at you. Boy. If not, is no, no, at you in there? Can you just type that again in the comments, please? He's gonna take your
Yeah,
question. I was
I
hoping.
can read it. I see the question. I see the question. I can read it right away.
Cool, cool. All right then.
So I mean,
Oh,
he wrote in French.
I
Okay,
can.
yeah.
I've projected it. Yeah, it's good now.
Okay. So he said it makes sense. He's happy to have me on, and also understanding that I come from the diaspora. He wanted to know what kind of business would be privileged for somebody in the diaspora. I
Hey,
think
why are you
that's
taking my French away from me? Bonjour, il me fait plaisir de suivre cette ligne. Singer in French. Je suis ravie de savoir de Rona. That's your name, right? I guess you wanted to write your name. Vient aussi de la diaspora. J'aimerais savoir le type de business à privilégier pour la diaspora. Merci. Woo-hoo-hoo.
man.
Guys,
That's so you
excuse
good.
my French.
Uh,
Yeah, Mr. Roland,
all
go
right.
on.
Yes. Atu, to answer to your question, and I think that is one of the questions that I want us to take for during our next session, because there are so many businesses that the diaspora can really get involved in. I like to really pay attention to the diaspora crowd, because a lot of us in the diaspora, we have already made a life in the diaspora. And the sad thing is that most of us, after having made everything that we made, we realize that we don't find happiness in everything. You now make money, but you realize that the quality of life has actually reduced. And many people are looking to come back home. And there is a huge potential for the diaspora to come back home. I have always been a big proponent than the diaspora to move home, because there is so much opportunities here,
Yeah.
so many opportunities. But how to come back, how to integrate, how to succeed is always a big challenge. Um, this is one of something that I want us to tackle on our next session. So, Aju, if you don't mind, please let me deal on this topic on our next session, so that we can talk a lot on it without having to cut through many corners. Because I know that from this very session, you all would invite your friends on the next one, and we can make sure that we have a very huge crowd. Believe me, we have ourselves to build. Nobody would build us.
Mm,
We are the ones to build ourselves. We
mm-hmm.
will not wait for Akon to leave Senegal and come and build Cameroon. We will not wait for Davido to leave Nigeria and come here and make Cameroon, or wait for Elon Musk to leave South Africa and come. We have to build Cameroon in the way that we want Cameroon to be. So it is important that now we begin to share these ideas that will make each and every one of us get better. And I am very willing, and Delhi really has me hooked to say that, Roland, I need you. Stop writing on your wall alone. Come
Stop
and
right,
share
stop
these
sending me
ideas.
all of those, your 5,000. Tideli, I have 5,000 to start a business. What kind of business? I have 10,000 to start a business. I have 50,000. Where should I start? Which is better? This is the go-to guy, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not me. I am a novice when it comes to this business and entrepreneurship. I'm into it, but I cannot articulate it. I don't know the nitty-gritties of business and entrepreneurship. So Roland FOMUNDAM is your go-to person. Rendezvous Wednesday, 7 p.m. Cameroon time. Make it a date, guys. Get your data. Don't go browsing on any kind of thing on social media on that day. Reserve your data for this particular slot, because this is where you get the knowledge. This is where your lives get transformed. Okay. Apart from, I was tired of doing all the hide my IDs, hide my IDs, and hide my IDs. Roland FOMUNDAM, it was an honor having you. This is the start, and I think it was awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I see you all in the comments. See you again, same time, same venue, okay, next week with our CEO and founder of Greenhouse Ventures, Mr. Roland FOMUNDAM. Until next time, it's bye-bye from us.